Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Whisler versus Frazier.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Whisler, you claim you currently owe almost $21,000 in back child support
Yes, Your Honor.
for the defendant's son, a young man you believe may not be yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say your paycheck is garnished each week, leaving you only $70.
Yes, Your Honor.
If today's results prove you are not the young man's father, you plan to return to your home state to get this enormous debt erased.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Frazier, you admit you've always known the plaintiff may not be your son's biological father, but acknowledge he's been held financially responsible for him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yet regardless of whether or not today's results prove he's the father, you say he really just needs to get over it.
Yes, Your Honor.
No.
Mr. Whisler.
We're here today to get this settled once and for all. I've been waiting 18 years.
Well, tell me why you doubt paternity.
Because, Your Honor, we were in a relationship, and about late 2005, she comes to me and tells me she's pregnant. And I always ask her, "Are you for sure it is mine?"
You had doubts from the beginning.
Yes, ma'am. I had a torsion. That, the doctor said right there, no, you're unable to have children.
So the doctors told you you weren't
Yes, Your Honor.
able to have children due to a medical condition.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And now I've got this bill, $21,000. They're wanting me to pay for somebody else.
Never asked child support from you. I never asked them to get child support from you, ever. Never.
Yes, you want to go down and take care of this like a young
I went
lady.
down there. You can look at the paperwork. The paperwork always said the other guy's name.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to find out today.
That's cool.
We are going to find out today the honest to God's truth.
That's
Of this
So, hold
18
on.
years that I've been living through this, excuse my language.
Please be respectful in the court, sir. So, Ms. Frazier, when you found out you were pregnant, did you tell Mr. Whisler it was his child?
I told him I was pregnant, and he told me it wasn't his.
And the other guy that you say you always put his name on all the paperwork.
All the paperwork.
This other guy signed
What about the birth certificate? What about the birth certificate?
You wanted him to have your last name.
You told me if I wanted that kid
To have your
my
last
last
name.
and I wanted to claim him, I would be there for the birth.
Yeah.
And I was there.
That's
and
why
I
you got
did
your
it.
last name.
And then it come out a little while later that you had been sleeping with this other man all this time.
At 6 months, you knew.
Yeah, at 6 months after birth. After the fact.
So, Mr.
Right.
Whisler,
Yeah, and?
And
you did sign the birth
that is
certificate.
wrong. I can't go on with my life now.
You did sign the birth certificate,
Yes,
am I
ma'am.
correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And you claim that not until the child was 6 months old were you told that there could be a question regarding the paternity.
Yes, Your Honor.
So take me back to that time. How did she tell you this?
She told me straight up, yes, it could be this other man's.
Because he was proud to have a son and not denying it like you.
He should be standing up if it's his kid.
He
should be
does.
standing up for it. Why
did.
am I reliable to pay this over $21,000
I didn't
when I
ask
was
for that.
working?
I ain't seen none of that
They were
money.
taking most of my paycheck.
I've never given it to me. I ain't got no child support one.
You never
Never.
received any child
Nope.
support from the state of Missouri.
Nope.
I
Not
think
one.
You are.
Hold on,
have
Mr.
not.
Whisler, Mr. Whisler, what is the evidence you keep holding up?
This.
May I see that,
A
please?
letter I received from the Child Enforcement of the state of Missouri just about 2 weeks ago, Your Honor.
But they're not giving it to me. I've never received child support.
And, that just don't add up.
This letter from the state of Missouri indicates total past due support, $20,850.
Yes, Your Honor.
56 cents.
And I've paid no telling how much already on this child.
And so you say the other man may be the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So did he ever pay child support?
No. I've never gotten any. No, at all.
Were you receiving assistance from the state?
Food stamps.
Okay. So if you were getting assistance from the state, they're going to then follow up with the father, the legal father
Yes.
of record,
And I am lucky
to pay them back
Right.
the money. You
But
understand?
on the paper.
So who did you tell the state?
On the paper, it asked if there was anybody else who could be the biological father, and I've always put down the other guy's name, always.
Did you put down Mr. Whistler's name too?
That was the name on the birth certificate.
But Mr. Whistler, because you signed the birth certificate, under the law, you are
Yes,
the
Your
legal
Honor.
father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you
have-
understand that when you were signing that birth certificate that day?
Yes, Your Honor, I certainly did, but I was to the impression it was my child. There was no
understand.
other ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was mine. And now, here, $21,000 later in debt.
And so you brought a witness. I'd like to hear
Yes,
from her.
ma'am.
Ma'am, please stand. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Ms. Owsley, thank you for joining us. Your relationship to Mr. Whistler is?
Fiance.
What do you know about this situation?
I've been doing some research. That's what I have here on child support.
Jerome, will you hand me that evidence, please? What
Now,
do you
they
know?
can come after her.
And this evidence
this.
is presented to prove what exactly, Ms. Owsley?
The penalty for lack of child support.
So your concern is your fiance could go to jail
Exactly.
for failure to pay child support.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. I don't know if there's going to be a knock at the door. Come get him, take him away, because he owes the back child support.
And I've seen them take people for less than the $21,000. I see them go for $5,000, $6,000. And it's just not right, for me to be in this position because of this lady here.
And yet, you signed the birth certificate willingly.
Yes.
Yes, I was under the impression that I could have been the only person that could have been this child's father.
You signed that birth certificate because you believed at that time it was your child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because that's what Ms. Frazier told you, and never told you there was the other person.
Yes, Your Honor, until about 6 months later.
After the child was already here.
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
you had already signed the birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor. I even went as far as after the child was born, a couple of weeks, I went to my boss and asked her for the money to loan me to get her a ring, and I proposed to this lady. And she took the ring and said, not right now, and put the ring on her finger. And
Why?
I'm here today to finally see that this is taken care of. After 18 years, we are here. And I still got to go back to the state of Missouri and hire someone before I go to jail.
Because Dallas is almost 18 now.
Yes, Your Honor.
However, you have all of these arrears that are still adding up,
Yes, Your Honor.
and
'cause-
you could go to jail for failure to pay child support.
Yes, you're right, Your Honor.
Dallas is now 18 years old.
Yes, he is. Yes, Your Honor.
Have you tried to develop any type of relationship
Yes,
with
Your
him?
Honor. Numerous times I have traveled over 300 miles to come and see him, and I would call.
At your convenience.
I would call and ask Miss Frazier, could I come by and see Dallas when I get there? Sure. Then when I would get up there on my way over, I would call and say, I'm on my way. Oh, we're somewhere else. We ain't at home. We can't do it today.
We have
And,
lives. that
You
we
know,
can't
yeah.
stop.
But
change for a 10-minute visit.
understanding that I had called previously and asked you,
Well,
did I or did I not? No.
Not always.
You won't let me take him nowhere.
Whatever. He's
And he
18, he
refuses
can
to
go all
go
by
because
himself.
you got him brainwashed, I believe.
Frazier, is there a reason why you wouldn't allow him to see Mr. Whistler for
Growing
all
up?
those years?
Growing up, yeah, because he not once changed his diaper. Never, not even once.
I was at work during the day.
I was at home
and
every
you
night.
were out messing around.
How can I do that when I was raising 2 kids all by myself?
So
Prize
were you
visit.
aware, Miss Frazier, that all of these years he's been on the hook and responsible for child support?
I've tried to get them over and over numerous times to test the other man, and so because I can't afford to pay for it, and I've tried to get them to do it, and they have never done it.
So I pay for it until
No, I didn't ask
Whatever.
for nothing from you.
Huh?
I have never asked for anything from you.
No, you haven't. The state of Missouri
Okay,
has.
there you go. That's not me.
Yeah, it is the same
No, it's
thing
not.
as you.
No, it's not.
For
And
lying to
Mr.
me this whole time.
Yeah, I
Mr.
lied to you.
Whisler, you submitted to the court pictures, and you feel like Dallas looks like you in many ways.
Yes, Your Honor. And I think there's a lot of resemblance.
And so if he is your son,
I
do
will
you
step
want
up to
to
the
develop
plate.
a relationship?
Yes, Your Honor, I certainly do. I will step up to the plate and do what I have to do to take care of this $21,000 that I am in debt. But
Jerome, I think it's time we meet Dallas. Can you escort him in, please? Mr. Whisler, thank you for joining us today. You realize why we're here.
Yes.
And so I have to ask you directly, do you believe Mr. Whisler is your biological father?
As I was growing up, I did believe he was my father, but I was always told that it could be somebody else.
You were
Yes.
always told.
Yes, she was
Which is
always
consistent
honest.
with your mother's testimony that she always tried to list the other person. Have you ever met this other man?
Yes, I have.
You have. Do you refer to him as Dad?
I did one time, but that was just to get his attention.
Okay. Do you have a relationship with that man?
Not anymore.
And how about Mr. Whisler? Do you refer to him as your dad?
Yes, all the time.
All the time?
Yes.
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
You know, you're a young man, and just 18 years old, and this must be very difficult for you. Were you aware of the circumstances Mr. Whisler testified to, that he's been paying child support and been responsible for child support for you? You know he's on your birth certificate, right?
Yes, Your
You do know that, listed as your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yet, for most of your life, you understood that it could be someone else.
Yes.
And nothing's been done about that for 18 years.
She has tried to, but Missouri has not answered anything that she has tried to tell them or ever tried to change the birth certificate.
So you have personally witnessed firsthand your mother make the attempt to change your birth certificate?
I've seen her try to get the other guy listed as the father.
Now, why, Ms. Frazier, would you change the birth certificate to be the other guy when you don't know for certain if it's him either?
So that the state wouldn't be going after him.
Okay. So you
Because I've never felt that he should have to pay the child support, and because it wasn't right.
Here I am, stuck with this $21,000 debt still.
But I've tried to keep them from doing it.
You know, this does not make
But
it go away.
Mr. Whisler, I have to inform you, because you signed the birth certificate, you may still be responsible for
Yes,
that
Your Honor.
$21,000.
Yes, I understand.
Depending on today's results, you will have the opportunity to return to your home state and see if perhaps there is a way you can get that $21,000 debt erased. However, there are no guarantees.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand this.
But if
but-
Dallas is your biological son, understand, then you are rightfully responsible
Yes,
for
Your
that
Honor,
debt.
I certainly am.
Okay?
I love this young man with all of my heart. And always have. And always will. And I'm here today to get the final answers.
Well, I
I've
have
been
those
looking
answers
for.
for you. Jerome, the envelope. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Whisler v. Frazier, when it comes to the paternity of Mr. Dallas Whisler, Mr. Whisler, do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Whisler v. Frazier, when it comes to the paternity of Mr. Dallas Whisler, Mr. Whisler, you are not his father.
Dallas, that still is not going to change my love for you and wanting to spend time with you.
I still love you too.
I am a man of my word. I just thank you, Your Honor, and now I can go back and try to get this resolved.
You need to seek legal counsel when you return to your home state,
Yes, ma'am.
with the understanding that there are no guarantees that that debt will be erased,
Yes, Your
because
Honor.
you are on the
birth
birth certificate and you signed it voluntarily.
Yes. Your
But
Honor.
at least now you have the truth. This has been a difficult situation, I can see, for all of you adults, and yet my concern really is with you, Dallas. Are you okay?
Yes.
You are. Are you okay because you always knew there was a possibility?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, Mr. Whisler obviously has a lot of love for you, and I'm hoping you are a man of your word and you continue to love and support this young man.
I most definitely will, Your Honor.
And this court has resources for you to help you begin to process this, to figure out how to move forward, because that's what we want the truth to do for each of you. And I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court is adjourned.
Thank you.
Dallas, you're always going to be in my heart, and I still love you. And this won't change a thing about the way I feel for you. You understand me, son?
Yes.
I hope it doesn't change the way that you feel about me. Okay?
It doesn't.
It doesn't? All right, thank you.